And he's honest. He just said, man, look, I want to tell you, some of them had done terrible crimes, and I had what you call an executioner's high. Yeah, we got him tonight. But he said it works on you as a human being. And then finally he couldn't do it anymore. So we have, starting in 2001 in this country, a diminishment of the death penalty happening. And there are a number of factors. One of them is the number of people now who are saying, let me tell you what happened to me because I'm the one who's been doing the killing for you. And when we're pressed on this issue, and it's a terrible murder, and we go, well, boy, they ought to die, we got to push ourselves and ask ourselves, well, could I do it? Could I do the needle? And if there's a part of us that kind of go, well, I don't know if I could, I just want to say there's a part of your soul that hasn't said yes to the death penalty. When we bring it close and personal to us, could we really do it? Especially when we know that we have a way to keep ourselves safe. And that's what Prop 34 is about. Just look at the fact that close to 50% of all the rapes and murders are unsolved. We have all these cold cases in California. Those people are real victims too, aren't they? Well, think if you take all the resources you're pouring down the black hole of death, the millions and millions of dollars, because when y'all do things in California, you do them big. You do everything big. I mean, you got good defense for people, but you got good prosecution, and then you got 700 people on death row, 700, and the average waiting time for an execution is 20 years. Who's benefiting from that? I want to make a suggestion about who I think is benefiting from that. And it's the politicians. And let me just tell you why I said that. I'm not being cynical about politics. It's the easiest political symbol in the world to say, I'm tough on crime, I'm for the death penalty. But if you're really tough on crime, you're going to listen to the police chiefs who all put the death penalty dead last in terms of remedies that really deters anybody, because people aren't thinking of the consequences, don't even think they're going to get caught. And then you're going to put those resources into places that really count. To deal with violence that comes out of poverty. And until we deal with poverty and the racism that's in it, that keeps people down and in desperation, we are going to have violence. Just like you know, if you got a bunch of oily rags in your cellar and you got the possibility of a spark, you can have a house fire. And that's complex to deal with. And that's not just an easy thing. I'm going to deal with the source of violence in our city. And that takes a community effort and not a little Lone Ranger politician like, yeah, I'm tough on crime. And she's not, because she's against the death penalty. Would that it were that simple. It could never be that simple. Life isn't simple. Making these decisions and even getting in there with the poor jury people that have to make these decisions. I've met a lot of these people. And in this book, I call him the anguished juror. It takes 12 people. Unanimous decision. Vote for death. You know the person was guilty, but then he thought, oh, why not just let the person live? Why we gotta kill him? We're going to be safe. The guy's going to be in prison the rest of his life. And then he gets behind a closed door with the other jurors. And the way he put it to me was, you know, sister, I thought, you know, like you do a little demographic process, you know. You tell me what you are and, you know, what your leaning is. Let's discuss it. And they went around a circle just to get the leaning, and death, 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 death come to him. He goes, hey, you know, let him live. I don't want to vote for death. I don't want to have everybody's death on my hands. He said, man, they came on me. The polite way of putting it is, like gravy on rice. But he said something else. And he caved. And the night Robert Sawyer was executed in Louisiana, this man that he had consented, because he was the 12th vote they needed, he called up the lawyer, Nick Trinacosta, drunk, and he said, Nick, I tell my old boy, never cave in. The pressure that's going on behind those doors in juries that have to make these decisions for life or death. And we are ordinary people asked to weigh these things and decide on life and death. California has a chance to put this behind us and to be a beacon on the hill for the rest of the country. If California, when California does this, it's going to help to be a tipping point. For the last 5 years, every year, another state has abolished the death penalty, repealed it on the books. When California goes, it's going to send a ripple across this country that there's an alternative to death, and it's life. And it comes from citizens caring, coming together, figuring stuff out, and deciding that you got an alternative. Money's a huge part of it. And you know, it took me a while. I just did an interview today. A guy who was interviewing me for the Huffington Post and said, well, you know, sister, you know, and all, you know, the moral questions, you know, the Jesus thing, the moral questions, you know. I'm going, yeah, I'm all for the moral questions, you know. Like we shouldn't torture and kill human beings. But budgets are moral questions. And Martin Luther King used to say the most moral document you ever look at is a budget. Because are we using our resources for life or for death in our society? We can just say, well, it's just money, that's the practical part, you know, we can deal with that. Let's get over here and deal with all the moral questions. It's a huge decision to decide for life or to decide for death, even in the budget. So you got 6 ways to Sunday about why this thing needs to go. Why we have to take death off the table, concentrate on the root causes of crime in our society, and to be for life. And to have as a policy that our government can take people and strap them down and kill them says a lot about us. The death penalty finally is about who we are. They have done unspeakable things. And I'm going to end and I'm going to turn it over to my friend Lenny here, who's going to rev us up to show us how to begin to take steps to put our hands on the rope to get take real action. So, but there was a man, he was about to be executed. He had done an unspeakable crime. They let journalists talk to him the day before he was executed. And one of the journalists said to him, Mr. So-and-so, whatever his name, look at the crime you have done. And tomorrow the state is going to execute you. Can you give us like one reason why the state shouldn't kill you tomorrow? And he said, yeah, one, you're better than I am. And that's what it's really about. It's about us. Maybe in some books of justice people deserve to die, but tell me, who deserves to kill them? You, me, us? We can do better. We can go for life and come California, because when you do, like this beacon on the hill, you're going to help. It's going to be a ripple of life across this country to help other states as well. And now I'm going to give you over to my friend Lenny, who's going to rev us up to action.